Hi guys, this is Anna Bolette with Momentum Realty and you're watching Anna Banana in the 904. Welcome to my channel. Hi guys, so today is a fun topic. I'm going to be going over everything you'll need when traveling cross country on an airline with your cat. I'll break it down into 3 steps to make it easier and hopefully more enjoyable for you and Kitty. Starting with booking your flight, how to prepare ahead of time, and what to expect on the day you're traveling. This is my kitty Sebastian. He's pretty laid back. He's a cat who basically just wants to spend most of his time lying on my lap. He and I have traveled well over 30,000 miles together and have been through everything from flight delays, canceled flights, people who say they have allergies, a bathroom accident, and so much more. We know the best carriers and seating arrangements, as well as all the pet-friendly restaurants, or at least a lot of them across the airports. So let's get started. Number 1, booking your flight. Every airline is going to have specific rules, so make sure to go online to see if pets can be in the cabin with you. Go online and review the following information: rules and regulations about the size and breeds, appropriate pet carriers, and most important, the fee for pet travel. I've flown Southwest and JetBlue with Sebastian, and while this is not an advertisement for them, hopefully they'll sponsor me someday, I've had the most experience with these airlines, so you're going to hear me reference them quite a lot throughout the video. Southwest will charge a flat fee, so keep this in mind if you're booking a round trip. But since you're probably only going in one direction, you're going to just be charged that one time. Do your best to find a direct flight. Even if you don't, it's still just one fee. But a direct flight is going to limit the amount of boarding and deplaning, and it's going to help reduce the stress for both you and your cat. Most importantly, I cannot stress this enough, call the airline to tell them that you will be flying with your pet. Why is this so important? This is something that they don't tell you. This is in the fine print. Because most carriers have a pet limit. For example, Southwest Airline limits 6 pets per cabin, and that's on a first come first served basis. If they don't know you and your kitty are coming, you're not going to get on that flight if there's already 6 pets. And they're not going to let your cat travel alone. You're also going to want to see what vaccination requirements are for that carrier and your cat, so have all your records ready from the veterinarian. So check the size specifications for the pet carrier. I like the Sherpa pet carrier because it has a top zip and it also has a side zip. The top zip makes it really easy to grab your kitty for when going through airport security. There's going to be more on that later. I have made many mistakes with the type of carriers I've purchased, so take it from me, the ones with the wheels are a complete waste of money, and here's why. For one, you can't really pull your cat carrier in a crowded airport without running into the possibility of tripping someone. Let that one sink in for a moment. These carriers are very small, and it's like pulling a toiletry bag behind you on a leash. Believe me, no one sees it coming. The next thing is, since traveling pet carriers have soft sides, anytime your cat shifts their weight inside the carrier has a tendency to collapse. So now you're not pulling on the wheels, you're dragging. And then, if that wasn't enough to convince you, the wheels aren't that durable. Sebastian and I lost a wheel in Dallas while tripping a woman running to make her connection. It wasn't pretty. Don't be that guy. Purchase anything but the one with wheels. I'll be adding a list to my notes below. Make sure that you have your ID. Of course, you're going to have your ID, even if your cat is microchipped. Make sure that your carrier has a large tag on it and all of your information. make sure that the leash and the harness that he has inside has also the pet tag. Another thing I like to do is I like to tie the zippers with these little ties to keep the zippers from opening. With all the shake that happens on the flight, sometimes the zippers just will magically open. I don't know about you, but my cat can be a bit of a Houdini and he can break out of nearly anything. Those little ties really work. Make sure your carrier has some catnip and a toy. I like to place a t-shirt I've recently worn in there, and these things just are very comforting to Kitty. And while your cat is probably not going to play during travel, it's something that will keep them from getting too stressed out. Bring some dry food in the event of delays, wet naps, and paper towels. There are compartments in these carriers to make storage pretty easy peasy. Number 2, how to prepare the day before. Get your cat acclimated to their carrier. Sebastian doesn't like his and he bolts whenever he sees it. I know other cats approach their carriers with curiosity. So one thing that helps is to go on a long car ride with your cat inside the carrier. So please remember to place the carrier in a way that your cat gets good ventilation, that they can see you or they can see their surroundings, and that they're strapped in with the seatbelt. On the topic of sedation, because I've been asked many times before, I have never sedated Sebastian or any of my cats, and they have been just fine. Before considering this, please talk with your veterinarian before ever medicating your cat. I cannot stress this enough. It is a long established fact that cats do not react to medications in a predictable manner. So don't think that you can give them a human over-the-counter medication and that everything's going to be okay. Make sure to check with your veterinarian. Listen, cats will surprise you. Sebastian is so cool on trips. He even makes friends everywhere he goes. This is super duper important. If you don't remember anything else from this video, make sure that this is the biggest takeaway. You want to take away food and water 8 hours before you're scheduled to leave. Otherwise, you may get a stinky surprise. More on that later. Okay, so now that you've booked your flight, you've let the airline know that you're coming because you called, and you've packed all of Kitty's essentials. Make sure to pack enough dry food for 2 days, because in the event of a canceled layover, airports don't carry pet food. Now it's time to go over what to expect the day of. Number 3, travel day. Check to see how many bags you can bring. At Southwest, you can check 2 bags for free and bring your pet carrier and a personal item into the cabin with you. You cannot check in your cat. I bring a backpack that I can roll, and that has my little purse and laptop and stuff. And I've tried to place the cat carrier on the handle before, and while that's okay while you're just standing there, the incline can be really uncomfortable for the cat. And Sebastian has made the carrier kind of slide off and just whips around the handles. So it's just best to put the cat carrier over your shoulder. Going through security with a cat is a little more involved, and here's everything you're going to need to know so you don't hold yourself up or anyone else. As you get in line, you're going to take off your shoes and remove all electronics. You're going to place those on to the bin and on the conveyor. They're going to go. Then you're going to put your cat carrier with the cat in it on the conveyor as well, but the cat comes out at the last possible moment. You and Kitty are going to walk through the metal detector. You don't go through the other one. You go through the metal detector. You have to get ready for this moment, because if your cat is as cute and cuddly as Sebastian is, you will be met with oohs and ahs and what a cute little kitty. Make sure that you have the harness on your kitty. I've placed my favorite harnesses and leashes in the show notes below. Hug your kitty close to you. I hold him with both arms. An agent's gonna come with a metal detector and a wand, and they're going to check the palms of your hands. So I just let them check one at a time. Once you're finished with this part, make sure that you put Kitty back in the carrier before you grab all your belongings. They've always been super accommodating with us. While you're in the airport, and especially if there's time, I've always given myself at least 1 hour before boarding. You can take your cat out of their carrier. We have some favorite spots. Vino Volo is in almost every airport terminal. Chili's is really good. Papa Do's in the Houston airport. These are all restaurants that allow for your pets to hang out with you. It's pretty cool. So while I've boarded planes with Kitty over my shoulder, I don't recommend this. Before you board, place Kitty in the carrier. As a matter of fact, I don't think they're going to let you board without doing this. Be prepared for celebrity status on your flight because of your cat. I've found that flying with Sedation has offered me some pretty good perks as to, cool seating conditions and maybe a free cocktail or two. You'll need to choose a seat that is not the bulkhead or the exit aisle, as you're going to be using the seat back in front of you to place the carrier. So the first thing is to get Kitty settled in before you put any of your stuff away. Make sure that Kitty can see you. Once you put him down there, unzip the front and pet your kitty. Throughout the flight, keep checking in on your cat. I once pulled Sebastian out of his carrier after we boarded. We both fell asleep, and the passenger sitting next to me didn't even notice until we landed. Honestly, I'm not sure how we got away with it. I'm pretty sure that that's not allowed. Another time I forgot to take his food away. Yeah, Sebastian surprised all of us with, we hadn't even finished boarding yet, and this really could have been grounds for getting us kicked off the flight. But the flight attendant saw me running towards the front of the plane, straight for the lavatory. She sprung into action. She told me everyone on the crew was a pet lover and that the pilot especially liked cats. So she handed me a bottle of seltzer water and we went to town. I tell you, seltzer water is amazing. We got Sebastian cleaned up so well that nobody knew the difference. Just in case though, I bought everyone a round of drinks on my aisle because you know what, you can never be so sure. So here's to Sebastian. And that's it. Thanks for joining me. Join me again next week when I go over part 2 of traveling cross country with your cat. This is Anna Bolette with Momentum Realty, and this is Anna Banana in the 904.